sorry if it's a bit windy, right? But as a parent, I just like, I've got a few kids, right? I've got 4 kids. But the thought of going out on like a weekend and like doing something like going out all out as a family is a bit overwhelming. But not in the sense of, oh, there's so many of us and I've got to look after them. Nothing like that. It's overwhelming because of the price. Like, I know not everything has to be expensive, but if you want to go out and just do like a simple day, how much are we talking now? Do you know what I mean? Like, when I was a kid, my mum and dad used to take me out quite a lot. Like, there's only 2 of us, me and my sister. But we used to go out for family days quite a lot. And it used to cost, but not like it is now. Like, you're looking over 100 quid, easy. Who's got that laying around, like, most weekends? It's crazy how much it costs just to... Because when you're out, it's nice, you know, get a bit of lunch or something like that. Like, if you go to, say you went to the zoo, it's so expensive. And, like, I just feel bad because I want to give my kids, like, the best opportunities in life and everything. But it is generally just so expensive. Am I going mad, or is that how it is?
On a serious note, we need to talk about this. Like, living in London is a sport. Why is it that living in London equals to you step out, you breathe, you spend about 40, 50 pounds on what? Like, you'll be going home looking in your bag, there's barely anything there. Like, I went to M&S, I tried to get lunch. I picked up a salad. I went to the till. When I scanned it, I saw £6, but it was too late. I can't return it. This is embarrassing. So I just paid for the salad. This is actually like getting ridiculous. Like, I can't even manage like living here anymore. I don't know what to do. And I know some of you are going to say, why are you going to M&S to buy a salad? It was convenient. I'm trying to get about my day really quickly. Like, it was convenient. There's not a cheap Aldi store like right next to my house. Like, it's just an M&S. I just thought, let me pop in, see what's there. So, like, I think it's convenience as well, but still, like, this is crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
This guy shared that a casual night out in London cost him £64. A couple of drinks, some food and transport, and suddenly your wallet's feeling the hangover too.
I went for a night out in London last week, and this is how much I spent in total. It was £18 for some pre-drinks, and then it was time to head to the pub where the real prees was happening. A double vodka cranberry here was £12.90, times that by 2 and add a pint for £6.90. And then we went back to Tesco to get 3 small cocktail cans for a £5 before heading into the club, which cost £13 on entry, as a double vodka cranberry cost £11.80. Then on the way home I spent £2.60 on the bus, plus £3.50 for some chips, bringing me to a total of £63.60, and it's clear to see that London clubbing is insanely expensive.
Why are clubs all over the UK going from this to this? Venue curfews, pricey pints, and the cost of living crisis. Young people are choosing to go out less and less. Earlier this year, Recom, the biggest nightclub operator in the UK, announced the closure of 17 venues across the country. This includes the popular clubs Prism and Attic. But what does this mean for Britain's nightlife?
And it's part of growing up, is going to clubs, and if a generation didn't do that, it might just die out, because obviously young people are the lifeblood of clubs. The pandemic didn't kill off clubbing, but it's definitely damaged it. Yeah. And it'll take a while to recover. And in the meantime, like most things, while times are tight, people have to put the prices up.
A lady.
I am traumatised. I am a victim. My whole family are victims. I cannot believe how angry I am. I said to Aaron, I'm going to make a video about this. He's like, I'll make it later. I'm like, no, I need people to know how angry I am. And I feel the height of anger right now. If there is anywhere in the world I think you should not go, it's to Legoland in half term. And I don't mean like, oh, funny, it's like it was busy. No, they should max capacity that. I would much rather go on their website to book a ticket and it's a sold out, rather than book it like we have and get there and it's fucking chocker. We've been there. We were in the park today for 4.5, almost 5 hours. Guess how many rides we did? 3 rides. The only thing that you don't have to queue for in the place is the toilets, and that's probably because kids are pissing themselves in the queue. We were queuing for so long, like my poor children, they did so well, but they were queuing for so long. A man come out from Legoland with a box of stuff, and I thought I was going to do like a little show for the kids because it's fucking long. No show, he's just clearing up piss. And I don't blame kids for doing it, because when you're in the queue, you can't leave the queue very easily to get back in, or to get back out and then to get back in. So in half terms, Bearing in mind it's £38 to book ahead per ticket and like 68 on the door. So why don't they say, because it's half term, we'll make the tickets cheaper because you're not going to be able to get on many rides. Oh, and buy a fast pass. Buy a jump the queue ticket. The jump the queue tickets were freaking long. And do you know what's cheaper than a fast pass? A school fine. Take your kids out of school to go, because there is absolutely no point in going in half term. 3 rides. We queued for an hour and 20 minutes for like a family ride, one that we can all do because of like height restrictions. It literally lasted 3 minutes. We were queuing for so long. And it's so busy. We watched a bit of a show on our way through. It was like a mosh pit. Preston's skull was almost cracked open by someone dropping their crutch onto him. We positioned the kids so they could see the show, and then there was people standing on the fence in front of them. It's not enjoyable. I'm glad we've now got a nice meal and swimming, and then we have got another day there tomorrow. It was like, because we're doing a short break, you get your second day free. I'm pretty sure they only do it second day free is because after your first day, if you've got your second day booked, you'd be like, I'm not coming back, I want a refund. They'll be like, no, that's free, you can't have a refund. Legoland is shit.
So I've just paid, in Liverpool, £4.95 for a shot of Tia Maria / Baileys. You can go to Aldi and you can get a bottle of Baileys for £4.95, £4.50 I think it is. I've just paid that, and they lure you in with a little sign. Let me find the sign. Look, £6.95 for cake and coffee, and that would be wonderful. And all I wanted was an alcoholic beverage in there, and it was an extra £4.95. Extortion. It's next level Pizza Hut. That's all I'm going to say. Anyone who's got a view on this, I'd love to hear it, but that is ridiculous. Ridiculous. That's all I'm going to say. Liverpool, you've got a lot of transport. I thought up north was cheap. I was wrong.
You pay half your paycheck for a train ticket, and in return, you get the honor of standing armpit to armpit with strangers. British public transport at its finest.
Much better to be busy about that. This is where there's no
£120 for the pleasure of this train journey. Happy Sunday.
So everybody's saying that the cost of living crisis is killing them. They've got no money to eat, gas and electric. Look how fucking busy this place is, and it's the biggest fucking rip-off shop on the high street. Here you go, 23 quid for a fucking cup. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. 6 quid for a sausage bap. £2.50 for a fucking packet of kettle crisps. 4 quid for that. 4 quid. Yeah, every cunt skimp, but in here it's fucking busy all the time. Cheeky robbing cunts, and no one's asked about paying them prices. Get to absolute fuck. And then you've got Costa, 6 quid, 5 quid. And yet it's fucking rammed, but no one's got any money, and we're in a cost of living crisis. And the government shafted us, and no one can eat or drink or afford energy. If you want to deal with the cost of living, get yourself to Poundland, 3 quid for a fucking meal deal. Mint. Any drink you want, including all the bottles, and get on this Pound Bakery pasta, a fucking bin lid. Poundland knows how to fucking deal with the cost of living.
So I'm going to have a rant now. School summer holidays, prices and all the rest of it. But look at this, right? Travel Lodge, budget hotel chain, school summer holidays, 2 nights in Basingstoke. Tourism hub. Not having a go at Basingstoke, but in Basingstoke, guess how much? Look at this. 314 quid for 2 nights in a travel lodge in Basingstoke.
I actually don't want us to go on holiday, you know. Like, the cost of living, crisis, economy we're in, whatever we are in, simulation we're in, doesn't want us to go on holiday. And the moment I realised how badly they didn't want us to go away was when I saw the cost of airport parking. I have willingly been a baby girl for the last 8 years. I'll admit, I haven't paid for things like airport parking, any of that kind of stuff. But I'm looking at it right now because I am taking my partner on holiday. And why is it £179 for a week to park your car? Honestly, that's back in the day, that would be a cost of a holiday in itself. To park a car. The best business plan you could have in this day is a car parking space, because there's minimal maintenance, I think. You're literally getting people to pay you for somewhere to put their car. Genius! I am going to buy a car park. I'm going to invest in a car park.
This lady's husband pointed out something wild, that some everyday items in Monaco are actually cheaper than in the UK.
Monaco is cheaper than the UK. My husband was watching the Formula One and we were talking about Monaco. He's been, I haven't. And I said that I'd love to go. And he's like, the thing is, babe, like everything is just so expensive out there. Like you wouldn't believe it. Like a round of drinks, you literally just wouldn't be able to afford it. Okay, then babe, pull up a price list. He hadn't been for a while, but he pulled up like the current typical prices. And he was like, look at this. A can of Coke will be around €9 and a cappuccino is like €3-4. I was like, babe, yesterday I bought the kids pick a mix each and it was literally £15. Last weekend I got the kids an ice cream each and I had a coffee and he had a Coke and it was like £25. I used to be able to like eat out for £25. Now you can't even get ice creams in a drink. Like seriously, Monaco looks like a Sun 950 holiday compared to going out in the UK right now. What in the cosy lives is that all about? I actually think I'd be better off going to Monaco. Get more for your money over there. When I was talking to my sister, she lives in America, she was telling me her Starbucks order for her and her daughter. And I was like, babe, like that is like £30 over here. And she was like, no, it is not. So we compared the prices of her Starbucks versus our Starbucks. Ours are extortionate. And McDonald's prices are completely different. Her McDonald's are so much cheaper than ours. And that's not just because of the currency. Like if you look at it like for like. Remember when Happy Meals were $1.99? Husband still to this day thinks that a Big Mac meal was £2.89. What in the millennial?
What's your sign that money's tight across the country? This lady says her personal recession indicator is the bank holiday. When no one's out spending, you know times are tough.
Guys, do you want to know what the biggest recession indicator is in London? It is so quiet. Last night was so quiet in Shoreditch. There was nobody on the streets. Like years ago, if there was a bank holiday, the streets would be lively, right? And this is just after payday. It is so quiet. And even today, it feels like a normal Monday. There's nobody on the streets. It's so dead. And the last few bank holidays, it was the same. Like people don't really go out like that anymore on like pre-bank holiday or on bank holiday. At least not as many as in the past, because it's been dead silent, even yesterday.
Of course, you can do free things. It just takes a bit of creativity. And this guy shared his top tips for free things to do in Liverpool.
Are you planning a trip to Liverpool soon? Watch this video to see a few things you can do around the city free of charge.
So if your budget's tight, start off with the two museums, the Museum of Liverpool on the Pier Head and the Natural History Museum. Next to the Natural History Museum is the Public Library. This place has the Picton Reading Room, which looks like something out of Harry Potter. You can also visit the churches. There's the Bombed Out Church, which holds events on weekends. There's the Anglican Cathedral, which is huge, but they do charge £7 to go to the top. And then there's Paddy's Wigwam, the Metropolitan Cathedral. If you want a chill one, Sefton Park is a sick place to visit on a nice day. Chill and relax next to the Palm House or the lake. Matthew Street's one of the most famous streets in the world. You can walk down it and see where Beatlemania took place. At the Pier Head, you can visit the Albert Dock, which is boss on a summer's day, and take a walk up to the Liver buildings, see the Three Graces and meet four lads and shook the whale. So you can still have a boss time in the city on a tight budget. Times are hard and friends are few, so here's a few free things for you to do. Give us a follow and catch you at the next one.
Western middle-class Londoners ask themselves on a daily basis, why has Pret suddenly become so expensive? Pre-pandemic, I could snag a BLT and a flat white for a £5 with change for a Freddo. Today, £5 barely touches the sides. It wouldn't even pay for some of the sandwiches on their own, let alone with a coffee. Pret's bestseller, the tuna and cucumber baguette, was £2.99 in 2021, but might reach £4.25 in commute-to-heavy parts of London. So why has this happened? Possibly because Britain is in a state of financial disarray. After Brexit, the pandemic and the war in Ukraine, inflation has spiralled and food prices have shot up. The chain also occupies a tricky space in the food and drink market, the middle ground. Once a trusted haunt for those with a little cash to burn, but no time to care about how it was spent. Today people are seeking greater value because fewer people have spare cash to splash. Restaurants in the middle, offering okay food with little atmosphere or narrative, are hardly worth considering. Pret has tried to stay relevant. It hasn't wanted to fall into Greg's territory, where value matches quality, but has moved to try to justify its place at the higher end of the high street. It just doesn't need to be that expensive though, does it?
Whether you call it fast food or a British classic, it was never meant to break the bank. Fish and chips costing £16? Madness.
What the hell is going on? Fish and chips is meant to be the cheap takeaway. You've now got to remortgage your house to get a Chinese or an Indian. It's a joke that's just not even funny. It's absolutely shocking. 16 quid for fish and chips. 16 quid for fish and chips, and that was meant to be the cheap one. It cost you about 50 quid to get a Chinese. That's an actual joke. That's an actual joke. 15 quid for fish and chips. Cost about 50 quid to get a Chinese of your standard stuff. We're not talking about any specials here, anything extra, anything extravagant. We're not going for a buffet. We're talking about a normal Chinese. Like, we are literally paying American prices, but we get terrible wages. We don't have the American money, but we're paying the exact same prices they pay in America. This is a joke. This is a serious problem.
So I spent over 40k or 20 pounds for burger and fries in London. You guys, so let's try out Five Guys in London. So yeah, I actually just arrived in London and I wanted to get some lunch. So I decided to check out Five Guys because I've never tried them out before. I decided to get their burger with some fries and a drink. And yeah, everything came out to like 20 something pounds. And in my mind, it was not that bad till as in Nigeria, and I converted it to Naira. Please, someone should tell me why I'm spending over 40k on burger, fries and like a drink. Anyhow, let's try it out and see whether it is worth it. So first of all, the fries were a lot. Like, they put a lot of fries. It came in one small cup and they added more into the bag. So I was able to choose what I wanted in my burger, and it came with some cheese, I think 2 patties, some green peppers, ketchup and some other things. I liked the buns of the burger. They were soft. I loved the patties. The seasoning was also really good as well. And the hot sauce I ordered added the spicy kick to the entire thing. So see, I'm not going to whine you guys. Out of all the foreign fast food restaurants I've tried around the world, this is one of the best burgers I've had in a fast food restaurant. And yeah, the fries are also pretty good. But yeah, I'm still annoyed that I spent 40k on this. Anyway, see you guys.
Burger King's new Wagyu burger is nearly £10, but no one's really sure if it's actual premium beef or just clever marketing.
Okay guys, how are we doing? I'm heading to Burger King and I saw that they have like this Wagyu burger. Very interesting. How Wagyu can it be? It's about 8-9 quid. I'm just going to get that burger by itself. You know, I don't need them fries and that. Wagyu, come on Burger King. Are you mad? Honestly, it looks so appetizing though, Burger King. For the most part, when I go Burger King, it is very good. Hi, do you have the Wagyu burger? Yeah, we do Wagyu burger. Okay, can I just get that by itself, please? That's it. Oh, how much is the box? 4 quid. Look at that. Gourmet Kings by Burger King. It's always more appetizing than Mackey's, if you ask me. Oh, look at the bun. Thing is, surely this patty isn't Wagyu. It's surely not, right? I don't know exactly what it's got in it. I couldn't actually find any information on it. Burger King. Oh, that's actually steaming. Burger King burgers. Have a bite. Doesn't help that I'm ill. Burger King burgers slap. They do. Crispy onions doing their job. They probably put black sesame seeds on there and went, right, let's put up an extra £2. I don't know what sauce it is. Very nice. I swear that's just a regular patty. They've just used the exact same patties. I really do think they have. I don't know why. Like, unless it's Wagyu. I can't find any information on it, but surely they're not going to bring in a Wagyu patty. Oh. That was the Wagyu. Like, guys, please let me know if there's any information on this burger. Plenty of videos coming, plenty of videos up on the channel, so check it out, please. Just for that price, it was nice, but fucking hell, it is way too much.
Guys, tell me we're in a cost of living crisis without telling me we're in a cost of living crisis. It's Bank Holiday Monday, and the streets of London are empty. There is no hustle and bustle today. And normally, guys, on a bank holiday, everyone's out. This bank holiday, everyone's staying indoors. Everyone is staying indoors. People not only resting their minds and bodies, people are resting their bank accounts. I never thought I'd see the day, guys. I never thought I'd see the day. Hard times. It's hard times out here. Hard times. Everyone stay safe.
Centre Parks needs to be ashamed of themselves. I had an email from Centre Parks the other day to say they still had availability for October half term, and so I went online to see what availability they had and see what the prices were. And just look at this, and I know this is nothing new. I know we've been talking about the Centre Parks school holiday price increase, but just look at this. This is disgusting. So the week after October half term for one of Centre Park's like standard lodges is £699 for 4 nights. and then look at the price the week before in or during October half term. The price increases to £2,249. That's over triple what this price is just a few days after. I think it's an absolute scam, and it's no wonder that families are taking their children out of school when you start to see these types of price increases. Centre Parks, you need to be ashamed of yourselves, because this is a scam.
This man just dropped 20 quid on a sausage and a sad scoop of chips. He is so pissed off he starts questioning every decision that led him here.
What in the broken Britain cost of living bullshit are these chip shops? So, thought I'd pull in this place, get myself a sausage and chips, a bit of curry sauce on. Oh yes. So, fucking hell, I'm still shocked. I had a large battered sausage, normal chips, and a curry sauce over the top, just a little sprinkle, you know. My little lady Dozens, my little baby, she had a poker pie, and she had chips and a little pot of gravy. How the fuck is that over 20 quid now? Fucking hellfire! What's gone wrong?
So here I am on a long journey to Norwich from London. All the trains everywhere have been cancelled, like it's crazy. And I went to go and book a ticket and it was 160 quid to Norwich, one way, from where I was staying, just outside Gatwick. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, let me know in the comments what the price of trains are where you are and what's the most you paid. I am not going to pay 880. I only paid £57 from Agard to London, so I've got a ticket that's going to get me halfway, and let's see how far I get. And I don't even know when I'm going to get there. It's saying 3 hours 50 minutes at the moment, so yeah, and I have to go on the underground, which I'm dreading, so let's see how far I get on my £27 ticket.
Lunchtime, you might not see that much more of it. Okay, thank you very much.
The Circle Line train via Tower Hill and Liverpool.
That's me arriving in Heverset, Norwich, after 5.5 hour journey. What a nightmare. Managed to get the train for 28 quid, not the 130 odd quid that they wanted. My flight from Agada was only £52. So do you think, look, freezing 3 degrees and I've got this little coat on. Oh my god, do you think that the UK is just a rip-off when it comes to travel? And was I right, just trying to obviously get the train cheaper than what they expected me to pay? Let me know in the comments what's your most expensive train journey, and I'm going to go and have a curry with my daughter now. Flowers, yes, not for me, for my daughter, for Valentine's Day. I didn't even get a message.
You know what really fucking sucks? Is not being able to have a single plan on a Friday night because of the fact that you literally cannot leave the house without blinking and spending a fucking 100 quid. Like, how has Scotland got so expensive? Like, not just Scotland, the whole of the UK. It's an absolute shit show how expensive it is out there at the moment. Like, you used to be able to, when you were younger, like, maybe go out with like 30 quid, it'd be a cheap night out, but you maybe get a taxi, you get some drinks, maybe get into a club. But now, like, you'd be lucky if you got 2 drinks with that. Like, it's extortionate. And not just like going out to drink, like, I'd like plans doing anything, but I can't because everything costs so much money. Like, even getting a takeaway. And like, free stuff, the only real free stuff you can do now is like going out to look at things. But the weather's shit. Like, it's so mental that everything in the UK right now is so overpriced. And the fact that like, the wages aren't really going up that much, but like taxes, national insurances, petrol prices are, energy prices are, it's mental.
Pub in central London has come under fire for its decision to charge £2 more per pint after 10 p.m, meaning their standard pint of Carlsberg costs £9.40. But they've explained, saying that it is because our customers often beg us to charge them more. They'll come in and remark about how they've never had such an authentic Irish experience and that our lager drinks are some of the freshest about, well worth more than £7.40. The pub has also reported they've actually seen an increase in punters coming in post 10 p.m. to pay the higher prices, with Irish bartender Reap Off often confirming that there are queues around the block when it gets to that time, with people chanting nearly a tenner a pint, that's the UK way, and thanking Keir Starmer. Pubs across the country have started to see the positive reaction that O'Neill's has had to implementing dynamic pricing, and are saying they might start doing it themselves very soon, declaring that the cost of living crisis is clearly over in this country. The people yearn to spend their opulent cash flows on our incredible beer. No, of course we don't think that alcoholism might be a coping mechanism for capitalism's ever increasing prices and worsening in quality of life. Ugh, that'll be £11.40 for that Guinness tar.
Thousands of pubs across the UK are now at risk of closing. For me, it's not just about losing a place to drink. It's about losing a piece of British culture.
Hope you're all enjoying your Sunday afternoon. A few of you may have even been for a cheeky lunchtime pint or have gone for a pint in the local pub last night. However, are you aware that that's going to change? For many, many, many of you, that's going to change. Estimates are that in the next couple of years, as many as 9,000 pubs might close down. And let me explain why. So you're probably all aware that as of April, lots of changes in the tax system are coming in. Are you aware of the changes in the business rates system? So to put this into perspective, if you're a pub, public house, and you have a rateable value of £100,000, then your business rates are going up by £19,000 in April. 19 grand. How many thousands of extra pints, when you consider the profit margin on a pint of lager is in the pence, it's less than £1 profit margin. How many pints does it mean extra pints have got to sell every year to cover that? And that's before you also take into account the fact that the minimum wage for their staff and bar staff is going up by roughly £1 a person. That's before you take into account the fact that national insurance payments on all of the employees is also going up. That's before you take into account the fact that the electricity, gas, heating and energy bills are all going up again because the rate cap is going to rise again in April. It's simply unaffordable. What sort of lunatic government raises business rates on essentially small businesses at the same time as putting up all of their wage costs, and at the same time all their energy costs are going up, and then doesn't expect that to result in job losses and closures? Of course it's going to happen. Pubs are going to be closing. They're already struggling. The only ones that are surviving are the ones that sell quite a lot of food and that have sort of revamped their business from being a standard traditional boozer to being almost a restaurant that sells drinks as well. They're the ones that are still managing to do well. Or if you happen to be in a location where you've just got a thriving local crowd of people that come in, but the vast majority of them are struggling. The vast majority of them have already had to lay off staff, and then this is coming down the tracks. Thousands of pounds of extra business rates every year. Thousands of pounds extra on their staff costs every year. Thousands of pounds extra on their energy costs every year, and you expect them to stay open. This government is killing small businesses. And pubs fall into two categories. You get the ones that are chain owned, the Wetherspoons, etc., etc., and then you get the more individual ones that are either solely owned by the landlord, or they're owned by small conglomerates that might own 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10 pubs. Those are the ones that are going to be killed. The big chains can spread their costs around, they can write it off, they have clever accountants. The smaller ones, the ones that we all like, are the ones that are going to go out of business. It's just shocking. If you go into your pub and you know the landlord, have a chat with them. Just ask them what's gone on in the last 2 or 3 years in terms of their costs and what's projected to go on next year from April, actually in 2 months' time, when the minimum wage goes up, when their national insurance costs go up, when their business rates go up, when their heating and energy costs go up again. What are they going to do about it? How are they going to survive? And are they going to stay open? Just go and ask them.
I just don't understand all these prices at the minute. So literally, I took my dog for a walk yesterday. I thought, oh, I'm going to stop in the pub. Like, I've not been in the pub in ages. There's just one on my corner. So I just plodded in with Zeus after our big walk. Yeah, can I have a Coke Zero, please? £3.50 for just a small Coke. When I tell you my jaw dropped, I was just like, what? What? And then I go into town today and... Oh, what's that? I was just getting some bits, like... Primark's not cheap anymore, is it, by the way? No. I've still got some new pyjamas, because I just think I deserve it. And then nip into Mackey's. Got myself a little Happy Meal. Got me and my mum a Happy Meal, because I just fancy a little snack. £3.50. With a Coke, the same size as the one I got yesterday. And I got a meal. What? What in the cost of living crisis is going on? Please, someone tell me how much you would expect this to be. So we've got 2 of the adult McFlurries, the Milky Way ones. Oh, sorry, there's the adult one. Is that the adult one? No, sorry, that's the child one. So we've got 2 of the adult Milky Way McFlurries. Kids McFlurry, Milky Way one, again, obviously. And then 2, have we got 2? Yeah, 2 triple chocolate cookies. How much would you expect this to be, honestly? Give you a few seconds to have a think about it. Right, £10. Now, I don't know whether it's us being tight or what, but since when did McFlurries, bearing in mind this is a kid's one as well, and cookies add up to £10? What? I don't understand it. Remember when McFlurries literally used to be 99p and the cookies 99p? What did you say, Crikey O'Reilly? Yeah, even Darcy May thinks Crikey O'Reilly. So let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you think £10 reasonable for 3 ice creams? Well, one of them being a kid's one, and 2 cookies? Or do you think it's expensive like us? Because I feel like we've just been ripped off.
If you're wondering why the UK high street has become more expensive, why your Wagamama's orders or your Byron Burger orders have become more expensive and portion sizes have fallen, it's because private equity has been able and been allowed to take over the UK high street. Private equity will buy these chains using something called leverage buyout, which is essentially buying these high street shops such as Wagamama's and Pret using debt. And by using debt, they are able to fund the purchase of their shop. However, when they did that after Brexit, interest rates were low, and so that debt was cheap. However, recently, because interest rates have risen, that debt is more expensive, and so they have to pay a lot more back. And the only way to fund that debt is to reduce cost and increase prices. And that's why these things have gone up so much. But why have the government allowed this? Well, since Brexit, the government have not had much foreign investment. So they've allowed many American private equity firms to buy up some of the UK's biggest names.
Nando's chicken shouldn't be this expensive. At this point, you might as well book a table at a proper restaurant.
How much does Nando's cost in the UK at the moment? Because I keep wanting to order one from the one in Singapore. It's $31 for a half chicken. Exchange rate, that's about 19 quid. And it might be that price in the UK, I don't know. I literally have not been to a Nando's in the UK since I was about 17 years old. Even the Ross Clark butterfly breast chicken burgers, $25 with 2 sides. I know people are going to come at me and go, oh yeah, well Nando's is a premium product. It's chicken, come on. If this is true, right, and the UK is the same price as this, 18 British pounds for a half chicken with 2 sides. Who is going to Nando's? Because I believe the people in that tax bracket do not want Nando's. They'll go somewhere and get peri-peri chicken on a silver plate, probably at a hotel Michelin star restaurant. Imagine just popping on the delivery app and going, oh yeah, I'm going to get Nando's. And you're coming away with a $50 order and you have a half a piece of chicken, turn up to your gaff and you're like, ah, yep, nice, there's my Nando's. Admittedly, I have ordered this once when I was super hungover and the only thing I could have thought of that would have fixed my problems was the chicken. But it can't be this much in the UK. Tell me, please. I'm genuinely interested to know. God bless, bye.
Ever wonder?
We went to Legoland and here's how much it cost. Drove there and back, which was a 270 miles round trip. We popped a tank of fuel in. That costs around £55. Tickets to enter were £35 each because we booked them online and we used a cereal box discount code. On the way to Legoland, we stopped off at Lee de la Mer and got some meal deals and some breakfast. We spent just over £20 in Greggs and M&S because we accidentally picked up things that weren't actually within the meal deal. Oh well. Still cheaper than buying food within the park, let me tell you. Now, the rides had really big queues and we're just not about that life, so we did actually buy some fast track passes. They varied from £6 each to £14 each and we had 4 passes. That came to a total of just under £80. In my opinion, it was worth it. So worth it. And it's so easy to do as well. You can quite literally do it when you're outside the ride on the app. Looked at one restaurant whilst we were at Legoland and it was £21 per adult. So I'm very glad that we got meal deals because even though they were expensive, they were cheaper than buying low quality rubbish food from within the park. We got an ice cream each, that came to just over £10, but they were absolutely massive. I couldn't even finish mine. We stayed in a hotel 12 minutes drive away in Slough, which was actually free because we had a voucher to use from Christmas. It was the Moxie Slough and I highly recommend it. We had breakfast included and they even gave us 2 free drinks, which can be alcoholic or non-alcoholic.
Let's have a chit chat whilst I have my morning coffee. So I'm taking my niece out to the cinema this weekend, right? And I booked everything last night, but can we just deep the fact how expensive the cinema tickets are now? And I'm not talking about no everyman cinema with the fancy sofas. I'm talking about Cineworld. I'm talking about Odeon. I'm sorry, but when did the prices go up to almost £20? I'm so sorry, but spending that much on a shetty cinema with shetty seats, no trays, no one coming to your seat to take your order or dropping food off, it's actually shambolic. I'm not trying to sit with musty, dusty people either, so why are you charging so much for so little? What is happening here?
One guy called out the double standards, asking why young people keep getting blamed when they're just as broke as everyone else. With rent, bills and basic costs sky high, is it really fair to point fingers at the younger generation?
So they're in the news again trying to blame young people for businesses not doing so well. I've got no money to spend. The guy who runs the company that owns All Bar One, Harvester, Toby Carvery and Browns is saying that young people are using social media too much and that's how they're connecting to each other these days, and that's affecting the nightlife business of companies like his for clubs and bars and restaurants because young people aren't going out anymore. We're fucking broke! All Bar One charges like 12 quid for a cocktail and it's like £8 for a glass of wine. I have got no money. My rent is going up 10% every year. My energy bills just went up 6% and my wages ain't going up anywhere. My weekly shop at Aldi used to cost 40 quid just a few years ago. Now it's about 70 quid. The top 1,000 richest people in the country are now worth about 1.4 trillion and when I was born in 1993 it was less than 100 billion. Go complain to them. They've got all the money, not us. You guys let free market capitalism run so far that Uber came into the country, destroyed the taxi industry to such a point where it undercut it, now to the point where it dominates so much that on a night out with my friends, if I want to get home, they do the surcharging. It costs like 4 to 5 times the amount it should just to get home in a taxi. Like a night out now for a lot of people to go to a restaurant, meet up with your friends, have some drinks, go out to a nightclub where they'll charge 20 to 25 quid for entry with dickhead bouncers will cost you literally 150 quid to go out on a good night out. And you're complaining. This is your fault.
They